Hello, in today's video we will be looking at how to attempt a reverse the colours question type in 11 plus. Let's look at our first question. What we need to do here is switch the white to the black and the black to white and see which of our options matches that image the best. So what we can see here is that we have two lines that originate in the centre of either side and meet in the centre of the bottom side of our square. And they're both thick black lines. If you look at our options, we have two thick white lines as the colours are switched in A. We have one thick white line and one thin white line in B. One thin line and one thick line in C. Both thick in D and both thin in E, meaning that we are left with just A and D as our options. Next, we can if you remember, I said at the beginning that our lines originate in the center of either side. In A, this is true, whereas in D, it does originate in the center of the right side, but it originates below the center on the left side, meaning that A is our answer. Let's look at question 2. Here we have a rectangle with a cross beneath it. So we can immediately rule out B because the cross is above the rectangle. Next, if we look carefully, this rectangle has actually got rounded corners, whereas in D, the rectangle has pointed corners, so it can't be D either. This means we're left with just A, C, and E. In C and E, our cross doesn't match the original image because in our original image they are two lines of equal length, whereas in C and E the line going in this direction is shorter than the line going in this direction. So A is our answer. Let's look at question 3. Here we have a rectangle in the center with a thick black line running from the top left to the bottom right. The lines in A, B, and D are all thin, so we're left with just C and E. And if we look at the rectangle in our original image, it's in the center, and in C, it's off to the right, meaning that E is our answer. Let's look at question 4 now. Here we have an oval with a rectangle inside it, right in the middle. So we can rule out A because it's off to the right, and we can rule out D because it's off to the left. We can also rule out C because in C it's a square, whereas in our original image it's a rectangle. This leaves us with just B and E. In B, the oval is thinner from top to bottom, it's shorter and moved up, whereas in E it's quite central and it's a bit taller. And E matches our original image because this oval is in the center of the square, whereas in B it's a bit too high. Let's look at question 5. At this point, you can pause the video to attempt the question yourself before resuming the video again to see if it's correct. So we can see that we've some lines have split our box into 9 squares, with another square taking up most of the middle. And we can see that in all of our options, the middle has been taken out rather than any other part. In A, our first vertical line is too close to the edge of the square, leaving us with really thin rectangles here, whereas in our original image, they're a bit thicker, so we can rule A out. Similarly, in B, the first vertical line is too far away from the first edge, so we can rule that out as well. In C, it seems about right, with just from judging it. by eye. In D, again, it's too far away, like it is in B. And in E, it's also correct from eyesight. So next, let's look at our horizontal lines. We have one at the top, which is about right for both, whereas at the bottom, we have a correct distance for C, but it's too high up for E, meaning that C is our answer. And finally, here's a question for you to try yourself at home. Put your answers down below in the comments, and I'll tell you if you're right. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.